The world you live in, it was not built for your freedom. It was built for your control. It was built for your silence. It was built for your obedience. And yet here you are, breathing, thinking, burning with something that refuses to bow. They taught you to wait. Wait for approval. Wait for permission. Wait for a system that never had your interests in its blueprint. But I am not here to tell you to wait. I am here to tell you this, ris, itu permisayon. Because freedom was never meant to be requested. It was meant to be claimed. And the only chains that survive are the ones you refuse to break. Ibrahim Traoré never asked for the world to approve of him. He never begged a seat at their table. He flipped the table. He made his own place. Because leadership is not inherited, it is ignited. And you are waiting for signs. You are waiting for opportunities. You are waiting for someone to believe in you. But you don't need their belief. You don't need their validation. You need your own fire. The world will always tell you, not yet. You're too young. You're not ready. You're too loud. You're too real. And when they say that, you know you're on the right path, because change has never asked for permission. Justice has never whispered. Truth has never begged. It rises like thunder. It walks like fire. It demands, not excuses, but action. Ibrahim Traoré didn't kneel. He didn't wait. He rose. And because of that, the world had to listen. So the question is not whether you can rise. It's whether you have the courage to do it without permission. So stand up. Not when it's safe. Not when they say you can. Stand now. Stand with fire. Stand with honor. And when they ask, "Who told you to rise?" say this: no one. I told myself. And that is enough. Power is not something you apply for. It is not something you wait in line to receive. It is not a job. It is not a favor. Power is something you step into, without apology, without fear, without permission. And that is what Ibrahim Traoré understood long before the world gave him a title. He didn't walk into the room asking for a position. He walked in already convinced of his mission. That's the difference between those who lead and those who follow. The leader knows they were born with the fire, and they don't ask the world to validate it. Most people are trained to wait, trained to obey. From the moment you're born, they teach you to seek approval. Raise your hand before you speak. Ask before you move. Wait until you're older. Wait until they say you're ready. But what if the system never intends to say yes? What if the door was never meant to open for you? Then what? That's when true leadership is born, when you stop asking, when you stop begging, when you stop hoping that someone gives you what you were born to take. You don't seize power because you're arrogant. You seize power because the truth can't wait any longer. You rise not because the time is perfect, but because your silence would be betrayal. Ibrahim Traoré didn't look around for someone to tell him it was okay to act. He acted because the people were suffering, because corruption was choking the soul of a nation, because injustice was laughing in the face of ordinary citizens. And if he had waited for permission, his people would still be in chains, spiritual, political, economic chains. Understand this: when you wait for power to be handed to you, you've already surrendered. Because real power doesn't come from titles. It comes from clarity, from conviction, from courage. The world respects those who move with purpose, even when it makes others uncomfortable. You want to change your life. Stop looking for someone to let you. You want to lead. Then stand like one, even if they call you crazy. You want to be respected. Then carry yourself with the kind of fire that makes others catch their breath. Traoré didn't ask. He moved. And because he moved, the world shifted. So ask yourself, are you still waiting for permission, or are you ready to rise? Because no one's coming to crown you king. You must walk like one, act like one, speak like one, long before they believe you. And one day, they'll have no choice but to follow. They want you quiet. That's the strategy. Not dead, not gone, just silent. Because a silent person is easier to control than a loud one. Because when you speak, you disrupt, you disturb the illusion. You shake the lies that have been carefully arranged like polished trophies on a broken shelf. Ibrahim Traore understood the price of silence. He knew that silence is not neutral, it is a weapon. And not a weapon of the strong, a weapon of the weak. A tool used to protect fear, not truth, a shield for the corrupt to hide behind. Silence lets injustice breathe, silence lets the powerful feed. And silence, when practiced by those who know better, is nothing short of betrayal. You don't need a microphone to be dangerous. You don't need a stage. You don't need a press conference. You just need a voice and the courage to use it. Because when you speak truth in a world built on lies, your words become a hammer. They become a light. They become a revolution. Traoré did not climb to power by being agreeable. He wasn't the man who smiled for every camera or played politics behind every door. He was the man who looked the lie in the face and said, "I see you." And that shook the very ground the system stood on. Most people keep quiet because they fear the consequences of truth, but they forget the consequences of silence. When you are silent in the face of oppression, you become its accomplice. When you see corruption and say nothing, you become part of the system that kills your people. Not with a weapon, but with indifference. Speaking up is not about being loud, it's about being loyal. Loyal to your people. Loyal to your principles. Loyal to your soul. And when the time comes, you will either stand with the cowards who watched the fire, or with the few who walked into it. Traoré's words weren't polished, they were powerful. He didn't speak to impress, he spoke to awaken. And that is the mindset you must carry. You don't owe the world silence, you owe it your roar. Speak, even if they call you rebellious. Speak, even if they label you dangerous. Speak, even if they try to bury your voice. Because when you speak with purpose, the world cannot unhear you. And if they fear your voice, let that be proof that it's worth using. So speak, and if your voice shakes, speak louder. Because your silence serves no one, except those who want you powerless. Your rise must scare the system. If it doesn't, it's not real. If your growth makes them comfortable, then you're still playing by their rules. You're still manageable, still contained, still digestible. But when you rise with clarity, with courage, and without compromise, that's when the alarms go off. That's when they start to panic. Because the system is not built to handle people who think freely. It's not built to handle people who don't beg, who don't fold, who don't need approval. The system was designed to keep you in your place, quietly, obediently, permanently. Ibrahim Traoré didn't just rise, he rose like a storm. Not hidden, not silent, not soft. His very presence became a disruption. His words became thunder. His stance became a line in the sand. And suddenly, the entire game changed. Why? Because he didn't just want to exist within the system. He wanted to rewrite it. And that terrified them. You have to understand something. The system doesn't fear your ambition. It fears your independence. It doesn't fear your dreams. It fears your discipline. It doesn't fear your voice. It fears your conviction. They can handle people who want power for comfort. They can absorb those who rise just to join the circle of wealth and silence. But when you rise with purpose, with a mission that serves others, you become dangerous. Your rise must make liars uncomfortable. It must shake the chairs of the elite. It must make corrupt men fumble their words. It must make the powerful ask, who is this? And why can't we control him? Because that's when you know you're doing it right. When Traoré spoke, he didn't speak to impress. He spoke to disrupt. He wasn't afraid to call out the system, the manipulation, the exploitation, the submission. And when he walked like he meant every word. That's why his rise mattered, so don't seek comfort. Seek impact. Don't seek applause. Seek disruption. Let your rise be the kind that makes the weak whisper and the strong pay attention. If your rise makes no one uncomfortable, then you're not rising. You're just rearranging yourself in the system they gave you. Let them feel the shift in your posture. Let them hear the fire in your words. Let your silence be replaced with strategy, and your actions speak louder than your lineage. Because the system will never hand you your revolution. You must become it. And when you do, let them tremble. Let them talk. That means you've arrived. You were not born to kneel. You were not placed on this earth to wait quietly for your chance. You were not created to seek permission from a system that never had your freedom in its plans. You were built to rise on your own terms, in your own time, with your own fire. The world will try to tell you that you're too much, too loud, too ambitious, too angry, too proud. Good, be all of that. Because history has never changed at the hands of the obedient. It has only ever moved forward when someone decided they were done asking. Someone like Ibrahim Traore, who didn't wait for the world to grant him power. He took responsibility. He carried the weight. He stood where others collapsed. And now it's your turn. You think you're waiting for the right opportunity. You think you need a title, or permission, or experience. But what you really need is a decision. A decision to no longer betray your calling. A decision to stop trading your voice for comfort. A decision to no longer live under rules that were never written with your freedom in mind. Your rise must be unapologetic. Not to prove yourself to others, but to honor the truth burning in your chest. And understand this: when you rise, they will try to ignore you. Then they will try to discredit you. Then they will try to stop you. Let them try. Because when your conviction is clear, when your purpose is bigger than your fear, when your voice speaks for something greater than your ego, you become unstoppable. This is the mindset of Ibrahim Traoré. He didn't kneel. He didn't beg. He didn't play by their script. He walked into history by breaking the cycle. And you can do the same. So let this be your moment. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Now. Stand. Disrupt. Move with the authority of someone who doesn't need permission. And when they ask who sent you, tell them the fire inside you did. Because when you rise without permission, the world has no choice but to make room for your presence. Now go. Lead. Shake the ground, and never kneel.